Yeah, so mRNA vaccines are a pretty recent development. With their, like, I think, papers really sort of talking about the real, like, use of these mRNA vaccines were kind of increased a lot over the past maybe like 5 years or so. And so what essentially, when you get a normal vaccine, so I guess we can go to like what a vaccine is first. So vaccines are essentially normally when you get sick, so if you get sick with COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2 invades your cells, and then after a while, once SARS-CoV-2 kind of has a field day for a little bit, and then your body starts to respond, and essentially what it does is it breaks down and kills the virus when it encounters it. And when it does this, it takes bits of this virus and sort of learns what they look like, more or less. And then once your body recognizes what SARS-CoV-2 looks like, it gets much, much more effective at killing it and realizing what's going on when it's infected and stuff like that, and sort of prepares your body. And that process is what we call immunity.
That's a natural process that will naturally happen in your body.
Right. That's what naturally happens. And that's why when you get sick with something, usually you become immune to it. And that happens. And so what a vaccine does is essentially is exposing you to those virus parts and teaches your body to become immune to it without you ever actually having to get sick with the virus or the bacteria or whatever you're getting immunized against. And that's another thing I want to point out is that, like, some people, I think, think that, so originally, like, and this does happen occasionally, but like a lot of vaccines used to be like actual whole viruses that are like killed. And there was like there's some people who worry that, if I'm injected with that, can't I just get sick with that virus if it's not like completely killed, for example? This is something you don't usually have to worry about with more modern day vaccines, because instead of getting injected with a whole killed virus, you're just getting injected with virus parts. And the virus parts can't do anything because they're not a whole virus. They're just like, just a bit of it. And so those can't do anything to you, but they are sufficient enough to teach your body to look out for those parts and kill them when they see them. And so it doesn't matter if the part is attached to a whole, like one virus or another virus or whatever, if it recognizes that part, it'll kill it. And so when you get vaccinated, you're getting, so like for the flu vaccine, when you get the flu vaccine, you are getting, there's one part of the flu virus that you're getting essentially injected with, and it teaches your body to recognize that part of the virus and kill it when it sees it. And so now that brings us to how an mRNA vaccine would work. The way an mRNA vaccine would work is, instead of injecting you with protein, which is like the outside parts of these viruses use proteins just like anything else does. Instead of injecting you with protein, the mRNA vaccine, they inject you with mRNA. And the mRNA, just like how your body is used to turning mRNA into protein, will read this mRNA and translate it into protein. But the protein that gets made is SARS-CoV-2 protein. But this is just like, again, just one protein out of I think SARS-CoV-2 encodes for like 16 proteins or something like that. And this is just one of them. It's the spike protein that's on the outside of SARS-CoV-2. And then once your body makes this protein, it's like, whoa, wait, what the hell is this? Like, it's like, it just, it's like you're teaching it to, like, I don't know, build an enemy fighter, jet or something like that. And then once it builds it, it's like, oh, that's what we're looking for. And so then your body basically mounts an immune response against that thing. And so that's what's happening with this mRNA vaccine. There's a bunch of pros and cons to these mRNA vaccines. But yeah, that's basically how they work. Instead of just injecting you with a protein that your body then like gains immunity against, they inject you with instructions on how to make this protein, and then your body learns how to be immunized against that protein.
So instead of injecting the part that the body creates an immune response against, you're just giving it basically like genetic code to build that small part of the COVID, and then your body creates an immune response and then goes forward.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing I want to emphasize though here is some people might be like, oh, well, injecting my body with genetic code, that sounds kind of risky. mRNA, first of all, is, like I said, it's not very stable. And so when your body is done reading mRNA, essentially, it throws it away. It basically breaks it down. It knows that also, like, mRNA in the system, it's like, okay, well, we read this, and then also just over time, mRNA starts to decay once it's like just been around long enough. And once you start having mRNA that starts decaying, your body definitely is like, well, this stuff is junk, I'm just going to get rid of it. And so there's no issue with some people are worried that, again, like, I think people are hesitant about, I don't want to be injected with genetic material. Who knows what's going to happen? The mRNA will be broken down by your cells after being transcribed enough, essentially.
So your body kind of has an
And
efficiency way of being, okay, I don't use this anymore. Let me just get rid of it.
right. Essentially, that's the thing too. Is like that's what your body naturally does when it makes mRNA. Is like your body will transcribe mRNA and it'll read it and stuff like that. But if the mRNA starts to break down, which they just naturally do over time, it's like, wait, I shouldn't be using this because it's like this crappy copy that like I don't know if this is actually complete now anymore because it's starting to break down. So I'm just gonna like throw it in the wood chipper basically.
Gotcha. Now you
And
said that
that's yeah.
so, which is great that we automatically know that we're going to get rid of some of this like debris essentially that is not important. But you did touch upon that you get the protein, or your body gets the mRNA to create the protein or a section of the protein of SARS-CoV-2.
Right.
Now you will, I guess there's question around whether the vaccine will help prevent getting COVID, but it sounds like to you, like you're still getting COVID, but it's just like a part of it. And will that allow you to protect yourself from getting it altogether? Or is it you're just like, if you get it, then you can still spread it but you won't have a bad, like maybe just explain that difference.
Right. Yeah. So again, you're not so you're receiving a part of the COVID virus, the SARS-CoV-2. That part is not enough to give you COVID. You don't get anything. You can't catch COVID from this because it's again only like 1/16 of the proteins that you would need to be able to make a COVID molecule.
Okay.
And so you can't, this you aren't getting injected with anything that could replicate in your body. Or
it's like getting a car tire, but you're not getting the entire car. Like you're just getting
right.
a
Yeah.
like
yeah.
a tire isn't a car.
Right. Yeah. A tire is not a car. Exactly. So it's like, yeah, you're looking at one car tire. Like, yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think. Yeah. It's like if you, I'm not sure if you wanted to like show your friend what a tire looked like. And you were worried like, oh, well, if I give him the whole car, he's going to drive away. So this is a weird scenario, but basically, yeah, it's like, you don't have to worry about them driving away the car because all you're showing them is a tire.
Is the tire. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So that's the one thing. But then some people might be wondering, well, why do you have side effects? Like, I actually, I don't know if I told you this, but I actually got my COVID vaccine last Wednesday. I don't know. I was very fortunate to get one. And the next day I felt like crap. And started I just felt unwell and I guess I had like some chills, I guess you'd say, and just fatigue. And so the question is like, well, why is this happening to me if I don't have COVID?
Sure.
Like, why does the vaccine make you feel like this? And the reason is because these feelings and these processes are part of your body actually responding. And that's what I think what a lot of people don't understand. Like when you get sick and you feel like junk, I mean, there's some things that are caused by the virus or the bacteria or whatever is happening to you doing stuff to your body. But the other part of it is like when your body is fighting back, it's expending energy. It's expending energy. It when you have a fever, the fever is essentially your body trying to burn out the pathogen, whatever is infecting you and stuff like that. And so same thing with like when you get sick, you experience these symptoms. When you get the vaccine, your body is also building an immunity and is responding to what is essentially harmless, but this response is part of the immunization process. So even though you feel like you're getting something is happened to you, essentially, it is actually part of your body responding and is essentially your body handling it and learning.
So it's actually a good thing. It's almost like indicating that you have a normal, natural immune system to indicate like, hey, there's a foreign entity. My body knows that this is foreign. I need to take care of it and respond in a way that may make you feel like crap, but it's a healthy response to something that's foreign in your body.
Right. And the response you get, like, I didn't feel good for one day, but like, I mean, if you had COVID's like, knocks you on your ass for like a week from what I've heard.
Right. And you can lose your smell. And I don't know about, I don't want to lose my smell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people are asymptomatic and they wind up being fine, but yeah, I know a lot of people who've had it and really just like feel like garbage for days. Or worse, obviously, as we've seen. But yeah, so that's one thing is that the reason you have these feelings aren't because you actually have caught COVID because because the virus is replicating inside you. It's because your body is responding to something that it recognizes as a foreign threat, essentially. And those processes are your body responding.